Well, guys, unfortunately, I bring you guys some tragic news. The 49ers, I thought they could do it. I really thought they could do it. But, of course, once again, just like in 2013 against Baltimore, they come up short. First of all, before I get into this video, I want to say one thing. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs and to their fans. You guys played well last night. Patrick Mahomes won MVP, and rightfully deserving. You guys played very well, especially in the fourth quarter. You guys outplayed us, scored 21 points on us. And you guys won your first Super Bowl Lombardi trophy in 50 years. Andy Reid finally got his first Super Bowl. So, congrats. I have a few friends that are Chiefs fans, like legitimate Chiefs fans, not like people at my Super Bowl party last night that were rooting for the Chiefs just because they hated the 49ers. But some legitimate Chiefs fans that have been Chiefs fans their whole lives, not bandwagon fans either. But yeah, congrats to you guys. You guys earned it. You did what the 49ers couldn't do, and that was play well in the fourth quarter and come away with a Super Bowl victory. So, congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs once again. You guys really earned it, and hats off to you. You guys have a bright future ahead of you. Patrick Mahomes, I imagine, is going to be around for a while with the Chiefs, and he's going to bring you multiple Super Bowl championships. I feel like this might even be the start of a dynasty for you guys. So, congrats for that. As for the 49ers, I'm going to talk about them and their season overall. There are some things to be proud of for sure, but there are some things that I'm also very disappointed with. And this was not the video I was hoping to make. I was hoping to make a video where I'd be popping a bottle of champagne and we'd be celebrating the 49ers' first Super Bowl victory since 1995. But that didn't happen. So let's get right into the Super Bowl game. First of all, the 49ers and their fans, last night I made a Facebook post that was a bit controversial. I said, this season was wasted, and now that I've slept on it a little bit, I don't really think that's the case. The 49ers should be proud of what they did this season. I mean, for the last 4 or 5 seasons or whatever, they've been cellar dwellers. Bottom of the league. Remember, they were the second worst team in the league last year. The second worst. They were 4-12. They got the second pick in the draft. Drafted Nick Bosa. I'll talk about him in a little bit as well. But, yeah. And then they went 13-3 this year and made it all the way to the Super Bowl. And they even held the lead late into the game. So, yeah, I don't think 49ers fans should be obviously they can be disappointed, but I don't think they should call it a totally wasted season. I know I did that on my Facebook post. I do regret that. It was in the heat of the moment. I was pissed. I was beyond pissed last night. It was to the point where I had to be consoled by 2 Seahawks fans. I'm not joking. At my Super Bowl party, I was losing my mind. And it's just how sports are. You're a fan of a team, and if you see your team disappointing you, you're gonna get mad. It's called being a sports fan. So before I get any comments here saying oh, I need to be put in a psych ward because I rage too much. No joke, I got that comment on my Oscar video. I got a comment that said exactly that in my Oscar video, that I needed to be put in a psych ward because I was raging. It's called supporting what you love. And yes, if you see your team not doing well, you're gonna get angry. It's just how sports fans are. If you see like something you love not getting the support it deserves, you're gonna get angry. It's just how things are. So, yeah, I'm gonna be a lot more calm in this video. But let's talk about this game, okay? So, yeah, despite the 49ers' great season, it came down to this game and they just couldn't pull it off. They did what the Seahawks did in Super Bowl 49 against New England. They failed to hold a 10-point lead. They had a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter, and they freaking blew it. Want to know what I think that comes down to? Kyle Shanahan. This guy's notorious for choking games. I mean, look at Super Bowl 51 when he was with Atlanta. They were up 28-3 and they blew that game. Enough said. And I feel for Atlanta fans because that was likely the one opportunity, the biggest opportunity they had to win a Super Bowl. And that's kind of how I feel about the 49ers. So yeah, Atlanta fans, I feel for you guys because we're in the same position as you now. I don't know how long the 49ers are going to be relevant for. They're losing key players in free agency, like Emmanuel Sanders, Eric Armstead, and a few others. I don't know how they're going to be able to re-sign those guys and be able to pay players like George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, other key players that we definitely need. So, yeah, they say they're always next year, but what if there isn't a next year? Look at the Rams. The Rams were in the Super Bowl last year. They lost to the Patriots. You know what happened to them this year? They went 9-7 and missed the playoffs. And based on what I've seen from the 49ers schedule, I don't really have much optimism. The 49ers have the hardest schedule in the NFC next year. And the fourth hardest overall. Only behind the Patriots, the Jets, and the Dolphins. Those are the only three teams with harder schedules than us. Yeah, we're playing the NFC East, so Cowboys, Eagles, Redskins, Giants, which might not seem like it's too difficult, but I mean, the Cowboys with Mike McCarthy, they could do something next year. They really could. They could absolutely do something next year. I wouldn't underestimate them. And then we play the NFC or the AFC East with the Patriots, Bills, Jets, and Dolphins, which again might seem like an easy division, but watch out for the Bills next year. I mean, the Bills, they played really well this year. I wouldn't be surprised if they're a powerhouse team next year. I really wouldn't be. And then, of course, we have 6 games against teams in our own division. You know the Seahawks are going to be looking for revenge. The Rams are going to be looking to come back. The Cardinals are going to be looking to improve. None of those 6 games are going to be easy. And then the 2 other games we have are against the Saints and the Packers. And, yeah, we know how they feel. They're going to be looking for revenge, especially the Packers. So, yeah. We have a tough schedule next year, and I really wouldn't be surprised if we fell to the 5th seed or even missed the playoffs next year. I really would not be surprised. So let's talk about this game. Kyle Shanahan, okay? Kyle Shanahan. I was pulling this guy for this guy to be coach of the year. I mean, to bring a team from 4-12 all the way to 13-3 and the number 1 seed in the NFC, that's not easy to do. But his play calling in this game, especially in the fourth quarter, has to be some of the worst play calling I've ever seen in a Super Bowl. I mean, when the 49ers intercepted Patrick Mahomes for the second time with 12 minutes left in the game, I thought that was it. I really did. The 49ers could have scored a touchdown. If they had scored a touchdown on that drive, that would have been it. That would have been the game. 49ers would have hoisted their 6th Lombardi trophy. They were that close. They got a first down. And then what did they do? After that, Jimmy Garoppolo started throwing the ball. Kyle Shanahan was calling passing plays. Why First of all, Raheem Mostert was running pretty well. And that's really what it comes down to, I feel like, is the 49ers barely ran the ball this game, it feels like. They ran 22 running plays in this game as opposed to 31 passing plays. 2 of those plays were by Jimmy Garoppolo. So really it's down to 20. And then three more of those plays were Deebo Samuel rushing plays. Basically trick plays. So essentially, we're looking at 17 rushing plays from our running backs, our actual running backs. 12 from Raheem Mostert, 5 from Tevin Coleman. No runs from Matt Breida at all. We didn't even use him in this game. I don't know why. Because he's an explosive back. Yes, he has a fumbling problem, but he's arguably the most explosive of the 3 backs we have. So I don't know why we didn't even utilize Matt Breida. Like, even in the passing game, I don't think we threw a pass to him at all. So yeah, we just completely wasted Matt Breida, who's very capable. And then Raheem Mostert, he only had 58 yards in this game. Part of that was because he only had 12 carries. 4.7 yards a carry. You know what you can do with 4.7 yards a carry? Get first downs every 3 plays. Run the clock out. Why weren't we doing that? Like, you're calling passing plays on second down. 2nd and 5, might I add. The first down play would be a running play. Like 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5, and then you call a passing play. Like, what the hell are you doing? Run the damn ball. Get a first down. Run some clock. That's what they should have been doing. Terrible clock management in those last 12 minutes. Terrible. We should have had the game won on that drive. After we intercepted Mahomes for the second time, we should have had the game won right there. Even a field goal, which I'll get to the refs in a little bit, but even a field goal on that drive would have been huge for us. Because then after the Damian Williams go-ahead touchdown, which again, I'll get to that, even after that, we wouldn't have been pressured to score a touchdown. We could have just settled for a field goal. We would have taken the lead back, and that could have been it. But no. Kyle Shanahan decides, let's run some throwing plays, and it didn't work, and we paid for it. So yeah, terrible play calling there. That's on Kyle Shanahan. And Jimmy Garoppolo, part of the game's on him too, because he was making some awful throws. I mean, like, he threw into some Kansas City defenders a few times. Like, what the hell are you doing? And even on one play where he was about to get sacked, he tried to throw he just threw the ball up. Throw it out of bounds. There's one of your receivers is right there. Throw it out of bounds. Instead, he keeps it in bounds and it gets picked. So yeah, there were some bad throws by Jimmy G. And then on that final drive, where the 49ers were given one final chance to basically take the lead back and take the win, he had Emmanuel Sanders. He was wide open. He had 2 defenders beat, and he overthrows him. Like, if Emmanuel Sanders gets that, that's a touchdown, 100%, because he was wide open. And he had 2 defenders beat. So, I don't know if I said receivers, but yeah. 2 defenders, he had him beat. But he couldn't make the throw. He was under too much pressure. And a lot of the game comes down to him as well. So, yeah, I hope Jimmy G can bounce back next year. I really do, because I mean, he had a solid season, almost 4,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, 24, 26 touchdowns, something like that, around 25 touchdowns. He just needs to clean up the turnovers a little bit, and I think he does have potential to be an elite quarterback. I really think he does. But obviously he didn't show that in this game, because an elite quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, they would have finished the drive with a touchdown, a go-ahead touchdown. So yeah, Jimmy G's not at that level yet. Even Patrick Mahomes, I think, would have scored a touchdown if he were the quarterback. So yeah. Now let's talk about the refs, because, oh boy, I have a lot to say about them. Now, again, I don't blame the loss entirely on the refs. I just want to make that clear. I don't blame the loss on them. Because, again, you have a 10-point lead. You got to hold that. Which, by the way, the defensive play calling, I don't know what the hell the defense was doing. They gave up 45-yard passes to Tyreek Hill, who was wide open, by the way. There was nobody there. But, yeah, I'll talk about the defense a little bit more. And then they just give up 9-yard plays every first down. And it just makes it so easy for the Chiefs to convert. What were they doing? And again, just leaving receivers just wide open. Sammy Watkins was wide open so many times this game. I lost count as to how many times they had him. And even on 3rd and 15, 3rd and 20 plays, you give up, how do you give up first downs on 3rd and 15? And then, of course, that pass interference call, which, yeah, that was pass interference. It absolutely was. When they had Travis Kelce in the end zone, that was pass interference. Just turn around and knock the damn ball away. Don't jump into him. But, yeah, let's talk about the refs. So the refs in this game, yeah, they made some awful calls. There was a missed roughing the passer call that should have been called. It was a helmet-to-helmet hit on Jimmy G just after he had gotten rid of the ball. Helmet-to-helmet, shouldn't that be a foul every time? And I've seen roughing the passer calls be called on hits that are not nearly as bad. Even against the Packers last week. When Jimmy G, or 2 weeks ago, my bad, when Jimmy G was tackled from below the knees, that did not look nearly as bad as this helmet-to-helmet hit. There are also a couple late hits on Jimmy G that weren't called. Some other holding calls that were missed. But yeah, Clay Matthews has been called for roughing the passer for calls that are not nearly as bad as this one was. Or plays that were not nearly as bad. And the Steelers against Lamar Jackson, that roughing the passer call in Week 5, that ultimately led to Baltimore getting a game-tying field goal. That was not nearly as bad of a foul. Or last year against in the AFC Championship, Chiefs against the Patriots. That's probably the biggest one. Chiefs defender literally did this to Tom Brady, and he got called for roughing the passer. So, yeah, I guarantee you, if Tom Brady was the quarterback, that penalty would have been called. Or even if Patrick Mahomes was the quarterback, or Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees. Refs have favorite quarterbacks, and it's ridiculous. Come on, guys. You get paid $15,000 a game. And, by the way, this is the Super Bowl, so you're getting paid more to make the right calls, and you can't even do that. Paid professionals, my ass. But yeah, there was also a blatant missed offsides penalty on a 3rd and 14 play. Granted, I don't know if that one would have mattered as much. It would have been 3rd and 9, so it still would have been difficult to convert, but still, missed call. Now, the two biggest calls in this game, they're the two biggest ones that both went against the 49ers. The first one was a little bit of more of a judgment call, so it was harder to overturn. The second one is the one I'm most pissed about. I'll get to that one in a little bit. But the first one, the Damian Williams go-ahead touchdown, okay? Now, I will say this. This call was a tough one. It was tough to overturn because you couldn't really tell if the ball had crossed the plane when Damian Williams stepped out of bounds. But it was a 3rd down play, so if they had overturned it or not called a touchdown at all, if it wasn't called a touchdown, I don't think it would have been overturned, honestly. But, I get it. There wasn't enough ruling to overturn it, so it was a tough call to make. But still, I do feel like it should have been ruled. It could have gone either way, but it ultimately went against us. I do feel like it should have been called short at first and then reviewed. And you know what? If they had overturned it after that, you know what? Screw it. But, yeah, if that had been called short, It would have been 4th down. Chiefs probably would have kicked a field goal. So, yeah. That one doesn't piss me off as much as this one does, though. And that is, at the end of the first half, Jimmy Garoppolo hits George Kittle for a 42-yard gain, bringing the ball down to the Kansas City 13-yard line. Basically would have set him up for a field goal, at least. But no, George Kittle gets called for offensive pass interference. For a ticky-tack, like, the most ticky-tack call ever. He literally, like, he had his arm extended, but the defender also had his arms extended, basically trying to grab George Kittle, keep him from getting there. George Kittle was trying to get him out of the way. George Kittle barely touched him. He barely touched him. I wouldn't classify that as a push. So I don't know where the hell you're calling OPI on that from. Now, I don't know if that call would have mattered, but it cost the 49ers 3 points. At least. Like, there were 6 seconds left. I don't know if Jimmy G would have tried to throw it in the end zone once. I don't know if they had enough time to throw it in the end zone once. But either way, it cost us at least 3 points. And, yeah, that could have affected the outcome of the game, because even if the Damian Williams touchdown is upheld, the Chiefs are up 24-23 in this case, right? 49ers would have had a chance to drive and just kick a field goal, a go-ahead field goal, instead of going for it, having to being forced to go for a touchdown. So yeah, there were some horrible calls by the refs there. But again, I'm not saying the refs entirely cost us this game. This game is mostly on Shanahan and Garoppolo. It really is. And of course, some of the defensive play calling by Robert Saleh, whatever his name is. But yeah, the game was on the coaching and Garoppolo. Like, for the most part, it was on him. So yeah, people always say there's always next year. But again, I don't know if that's the case for the 49ers. I really don't. The Chiefs, I'm not worried about them. They have Patrick Mahomes. They're not going to lose him anytime soon. He's going to get extended with them eventually. I'm not worried about the Chiefs. But I am worried about the 49ers. Because, again, we're losing key players in free agency. We've got a really hard schedule. There's risk of Super Bowl hangover. Again, look what happened to the Rams this year. So, yeah, I'm not confident that we're going to be able to come back and do it again next year. I'm really not. So, yeah, that's just my thoughts on this game. Overall, the season was a solid season, despite the disappointing ending. And again, I really shouldn't have called it a wasted season like I did on Facebook. And by the way, one more thing. I want to give out a very special FU to all the asshats on Twitter that are giving Nick Bosa crap for crying after he found out he was going to lose. People on Twitter are like, oh, Nick Bosa's crying because he doesn't get to meet Donald Trump. Yeah, Bosa is a Trump supporter, which, I mean, I don't want to get political on here, but he doesn't bring his politics to the field. That's the main thing. He doesn't bring his politics to the field, at least that I know of. He keeps it off the field and just focuses on football. And don't even get me started on the commercials, but yeah, he keeps his politics off the field. So to all you assholes on Twitter, basically saying when Nick Bosa, like basically posting him crying because he's about to lose the Super Bowl. I mean, if my team, like if I was a part of the 49ers and we just blew a 10-point lead, yeah, I would be upset too. So I can't blame Nick Bosa for getting upset, for being sad that his team lost the Super Bowl. So yeah, to all you Twitter asshats out there that just love to give Nick Bosa crap, take a cactus and shove it up your ass. Enough said. So yeah, that's all I have to say about the whole Nick Bosa thing. I feel for the guy. I mean, again, if I were a football player, my team just blew a 10-point lead, I would be upset too. I really would be. And I would be sad too. So, yeah, hopefully at some point Nick Bosa will get a Super Bowl. He has a lot of heart. He leaves it all out there on the field. He was the Rookie Defensive Player of the Year, and rightfully so. I think he could have made a case for Defensive Player of the Year as well. But, I mean, Stephon Gilmore won that. I don't have a problem with that. But, yeah. Nick Bosa, he's one of my favorite players on the team now, pretty much. He left it all out there. He's fantastic. One hell of a kid. And he's got a bright future ahead of him. I hope he gets a Super Bowl victory with the Niners at some point. So, yeah, I mean, there's my thoughts on the game. Which, by the way, the halftime show was horrible. What else is new? A lot of people loved it for some reason. It was borderline creepy. Like, some of the stuff Shakira and J-Lo were doing. And, by the way, I don't hate Shakira. I don't hate J-Lo either. Like, I don't hate either of them. But what they were doing was just borderline creepy. Like, how is this on TV? I was thinking, how is this on TV at some points? And by the way, their microphones, you could barely hear their microphones. This felt like more like a dance show than a halftime show to me. It really did. Like, what happened to the halftime shows with, like, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers? Or Prince, The Who? Even Bruno Mars to an extent. I didn't think Bruno Mars was that bad. And what was another one? Let's see. The Who, Prince, Tom Petty, Michael Jackson, U2. There was, like, what happened to the good halftime show? Bruce Springsteen, that's another one. What happened to the good halftime shows? Can't we bring back, like, someone like Muse or Imagine Dragons, I think would kill it? Or Def Leppard. I want to see Def Leppard perform at the halftime show. I really do. I know it sounds a little biased because they're my favorite band, but I want them to perform at the halftime show. But yeah, like even modern day rock artists like Muse or Green Day or Imagine Dragons, like get them to do a halftime show. Like enough of this like pussy pop BS. Just give us some good people for once. They tried doing that with Maroon 5, but of course that was ruined by forgetting to perform Sweet Victory. I will give the halftime show this. Like, they never made a promise to us that they didn't keep. So, I will give it that. As for the commercials, yeah, screw them. Like, the best commercial of the night was the Mountain Dew one that was parodying The Shining. That was the best one for sure. The movie trailers, I'm not really going to talk about those. There are some. Black Widow, Top Gun Maverick, Mulan. There are a few others. I'm not going to talk about those. But yeah, the commercials sucked ass for the most part. Like they have been for the past few years. Like, come on, Super Bowl. Get some better commercials. And don't force political garbage down our throats either. Like, they did that this year and it pissed me off. So, yeah. Overall, the game itself was good despite my 49ers blowing it. If I had to give an overall grade to the Super Bowl for commercials, halftime show, game itself, I'd probably give it a B. I mean, I'd probably give the game itself would get like a B plus, A minus. Halftime show, probably a C, C minus. Commercials, D, or D minus even. So yeah, Super Bowl as a whole, I'd probably give it a B. It was better than last year's Super Bowl. I will say that. It was much better than last year's. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, there's my thoughts on the Super Bowl as a whole. The 49ers season. What I thought of the 49ers in this game. Again, not the video I was hoping to make. I was hoping I'd be popping a champagne bottle and celebrating the 49ers' 6th Super Bowl championship. But unfortunately, we don't get to do that this year. But yeah, now that football season's over, we have the XFL. I mean, so there's that. It's having its inaugural season. Los Angeles Wildcats, so that's the team I'm going to be rooting for. They're the only California team that's playing, so go LA Wildcats. But anyway, we have something else to look forward to. And I'm about to show you right now. That's one thing. But let's get on this. Let's get on the actual jersey here. It's time for baseball season, baby. Now, of course, I'm not really all that excited for baseball season. I know what the Giants are going to do. They're going to finish in last place. But, I mean, there's always the D-backs. I think the D-backs could make a run this year. But yeah, I don't really have much hope for the Giants. But anyway, guys, football season's over. What did you guys think about the season as a whole? What did you guys think about the Super Bowl? Did you like the Super Bowl? Did you hate it? Are you a pissed off 49ers fan like me, or are you a Chiefs fan? If you're a Chiefs fan, congrats to you guys. You guys earned it this year. So yeah, there's my thoughts on the season, and yeah, let's get ready for baseball season. Yay, go Giants. Maybe the Giants will pull off some surprising stunt like the 49ers did, but then again, that's not really how baseball works, so I really don't have any hope for them. They're going to finish in last place this year. I'm willing to bet. So yeah, anyway guys, leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Make sure to leave a thumbs up on this video. And yeah, subscribe to my channel for more videos to come in the future. The new season of Survivor is starting soon, so you can expect some Survivor-related videos coming up. And yeah, some baseball-related videos. So yeah, subscribe to my channel for more content to come in the future. And until the next video, once again, my name is the California Cougar. And always remember to stay California cool. Go Niners. Hopefully we get it next year. Peace.